and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole and this is Letting It Be Sew. I'm here with a Friday sews catch up for you today. It's been a while, it's been a bit of a busy time, although probably not busy by a lot of people's standards, but in terms of having A, time to actually do any sewing, and B, time to film and edit and all that jazz, it has been in terms of just work and extracurricular activities that aren't sewing and one thing and another. Just, yeah, the stars did not align. But I'm here. I have a couple of finished makes to show you. I have a knitting work in progress update. And I also have some fabric shopping to share with you. Just in terms of what I'm wearing today, this is one of my Greyman Studios Linden sweatshirts. This is quite an old one. The printed fabric is a See You at 6 French terry, but yeah, this print is quite an old one, so this has definitely been a good, yeah, I made this one a good long while ago, and then I was fortunate enough to find some plain sweatshirting fabric in like more or less the same color. Like it's not exact, like if I come a little bit closer you can see that it is ever so, it's not coming up on the camera actually, but in real life it is ever so slightly darker, the print compared to this, but I thought it was, you know, for them being completely different manufacturers, etc., I was pretty chuffed. So yeah, this is my Linden. I've got ribbing on the cuffs on this one and on the bottom, and on the neckband, that again apparently I was able to find matching. I feel like maybe this is See You at 6 as well. I feel like I picked up, I know this was like a remnant piece, so quite a small piece, which is why I've done it like the front and the back in this, because that was, you know, the amount I had. But yeah, it's sweatshirt season, and I'm here for it. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. In terms of what I have been sewing since I last did a Friday Sews catch up, I've got, yeah, a couple of finished projects that I'm going to share with you. The first of those is the Harper cardigan, which is a pattern by Sinclair Patterns. It's actually a free pattern, and I'd never made anything by that pattern company before, so it's a good way, you know, free pattern is always a good way to, you know, see what their instructions look like and everything, before you know, spend money on a paid for pattern. And I was really excited because you know, as I said, it's sweatshirt season, it's time for layering, and you know, I really like having like cardigans that you're not intending to button up. Sorry, there's just a moth flying past my face. So yeah, it's also moth season, so I'm gonna have to get my sticky traps out again, or refresh the ones I had. Apologies for the moth tangent. What was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, I like having looser cardigans that, yeah, you're not intending to ever do up or anything, you can just throw on over whatever you're wearing, be it like a t-shirt or a long sleeve top, that kind of thing, to have, yeah, an extra layer for warmth. I work mostly from home and I'm sat at a computer, so often, yeah, if it is a little bit chillier and you're not getting up and moving around, I do find that I get cold when I'm working. So yeah, having that kind of layering piece is really useful, and it's something that I've typically tended to buy ready to wear, just because particularly because I like them to be like, you know, sort of hip length or a bit longer. That would take me forever to knit unless I knit it in like a ridiculously chunky yarn. So yeah, I've tended to buy them ready to wear, so I was excited to try a pattern for something along those lines, that I could sew. Obviously with sewing generally being quicker than knitting in terms of hand making that kind of garment. There's a couple of different variations in terms of like the length of the pattern. I think there's 4 lengths that you can have. I'm trying to think if there's any other variations, but yeah, you can have, you know, from like cropped to like, you know, sort of past your knees kind of length. I went for the classic length, which, yeah, I would say it's like just below hip Thanks. And I had picked up some viscose sweat in it from Lamazi, because that seemed like a good fabric to have that kind of thing in. It's a sort of knitted fabric that I would have, if I'd been buying from a shop, it's the kind of fabric that I would be looking at this kind of garment in. So I wanted to be able to, replicate that as much as possible. And yeah, this is going to be super hard to show held up, so I will obviously try and include photos in that wherever possible. So I really should have picked up a coat hanger. I'll pop this on a hanger as an attempt to show you as best I can. But hopefully you can see you've got, this long line cardigan, set in sleeves. You've got the collar that you add in that kind of goes all the way around to the bottom. Hopefully you can see the bottom there. So you've got, you join two pieces together, but it goes all the way around. So you don't have any buttons or anything. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could add, and you could add a button here if you just wanted one to kind of keep it on. It probably depends on how loose or tight fitting your finished garment is. This is fairly snug. I probably a thin, sort of crew neck jumper type thing, or I don't know if I could get it on over this. I think this is a bit too bulky, but those very fine knit jumpers that that's probably the most you could get on underneath this. So it's generally the size that I've gone for. It's going to be t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt type thing to put over the top. And you've got a band on the bottom as well. The pattern does have patch pockets. I cut them out, and then my machine was not especially loving sewing this fabric, and because it is quite thick when you have multiple layers, so I abandoned the pockets, and I'm not mad at that, because I say, it is more of a throw-on layer, so I'm not devastated that it doesn't have pockets. So it would have been down here. I think that was the main thing. The pattern itself, I probably could have figured out how to construct it without needing the pattern instructions, just because I've sewn a lot of tops and t-shirts and jumpers in jersey fabric, so you kind of work it out how it's constructed. But I think the tricky part was this fabric, because of the thickness of it. Like I say, multiple layers. When you've got this, for instance, where you've got bands, so whether you join on the band, you've got the band is folded over in half, so you've got two layers of the band and the single layer of the body of the cardigan that you're joining it to. So that's 3 layers of this fabric, and that is quite thick. Even my overlocker wasn't super enamored with it, so I imagine it will probably come together easier with something say a French terry. I think that's one of the recommended fabrics, or a bunty, those kind of slightly thicker knits. I think it would, but are not as thick as this. I think those would probably sew up better. But I'm reasonably happy with it. The only thing that is kind of annoying me is because, like I say, the difficulty in the sewing of this fabric. I've got a little, I'll show you here. This is upside down, but you can see where I put this under the overlocker, and then you've kind of got that thing where the overlocker drags it under the foot. Is it's not lined up. I'm trying to see whether I might just use the end of the overlocking to tuck it in, and that way when it's being worn, who's looking? If someone's looking there, which is at my hip level, I think that's a them problem. But I'm just gonna probably do that just to anchor that and stop it looking. It's quite noticeable, I would say. it is a bit annoying that obviously, because the way this is put together, like, you know, I've got grey overlocking thread on my overlocker, which I think blends in quite nicely, but obviously you can see it, and as this isn't buttoning up, like, you can sort of get this kind of flipping out. So I have been mulling over whether I will add something to cover it, like some ribbon or perhaps some like bias binding, but I don't necessarily know how well that will sew onto a knit fabric. So if anyone has any thoughts on doing that, I'll be very interested to hear, because yeah, it's just annoying me a little bit. You know, I feel like it, yeah, especially this seam that you could end up seeing like accidentally, it's just annoying me ever so slightly. So yeah, I think it would have been okay if this fabric hadn't been a bit like, yeah, not so great to sew. I think that's probably why. I think if it had been a little bit easier to sew all those layers, that it would look a bit neater on the inside, and then I probably wouldn't be bothered. So yeah, if anyone has any thoughts, please do put them down in the comments, because I would love to hear. But yeah, that is my Harper cardigan. I definitely would sew it again, but yeah, I think I might look to have some kind of, yeah, French terry or ponte as my fabric, just because, yeah, I think because of how it's constructed, it can get a bit bulky sewing this kind of fabric. So yeah, the Harper cardigan. So the other project that I have finished since last I caught up with you is my Pippi pinafore. Now, I have been filming a separate video on this, so I'm not going to go into too much depth on this project. I'm just going to give you a quick sneaky peek of the finished thing, and hopefully I will get the last bits of that video edited, so it's like just like a sew along with me kind of video. I've just got a few more bits to edit on it, and a few more pictures to put in as well. But so yeah, it will probably end up being uploaded after this Friday Sews catch up. So yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail and then spoil the other video. So let me just show you. This is, I can't even put this on a hanger because I don't even put this on a hanger properly when I hang these up. But this is the Pippi pinafore, so you can see this is the bib here. It's by Jennifer Lauren Handmade, and I've made this pattern several times before. I love it. I love these are the pockets, so they're quite deep patch pockets with this kind of fun shaping, and then it fastens here with this kind of button closure, rather than being, you know, a lot of pinafores are just like, you know, it goes on over your head and there's no fastenings. But yeah, this one has the side fastening, which I think is super cute. And yeah, then you have this skirt that's got some pleating on the front, and it's got, I don't know if you can see that, it's got some pleating on the back as well. And yeah, quite thin straps. I've gone for silver hardware, so I've got silver dungaree clips and silver buttons, as you can see here on the bib, and also on the side fastening. The main fabric is some denim that I got from Jenny Stitches. It's a good medium weight denim, doesn't have any stretch, and yep, a good quality denim. It was really nice to sew. And then there's various parts of this pattern that I line. So this was just some, I think it's Dear Stella, the company. I think the like pattern collection name is something like Alchemy, like it's all to do with like science. So you can see it's like these little like science beakers and these hands. So yeah, that is just my lining fabric. I also added myself a label, just this one from Little Rosy Cheeks, which says Look Sharp. And yeah, I'm super happy with it. I'm gonna give it a wash because I feel like that helps like set things in place nicely. And yeah, then it will be in rotation with my corduroy version. I feel like I need another one though, and I have been eyeing up some corduroy. There's some like needle cord animal print corduroy that I have seen. I think that would be cute. So I feel like there might be another one of these quite soon. But yeah, like I say, there's going to be a whole other video about how I made this. Not like a full sew along tutorial or anything like that, but just, you know, me showing you different stages and decisions I make, which I hope you'll find interesting, because I really do like this pattern. So yeah, that's the Pippi Pinafore. So in terms of other sewing, so currently on my cutout pile, and I've literally just started, and I do mean literally just started with the pockets, is the Bella Loves Patterns Leo shirt, which is a pretty standard drop shoulder kind of oversized look shirt. I'll just hold up one of the side. Well, no, this is the front piece. So this is the front. So all I've done is like folded over the button packet. But yeah, it's in this flannel fabric as a wearable toile, because I had some other flannel that I bought that I really want that pattern out of. So this is my wearable toile. So yeah, never made a Bella Loves pattern before, and yeah, not made this one. So yeah, that's what's currently cut out. But like I say, I finished the Pippi and then yeah, made a start, just because there was quite a few bits to interface and some pressing and all that jazz. So yeah, very early days on that one. Not sure how much sewing time I will get this weekend, so yeah, we will see. But yeah, that is what I'm currently working on. I'll give you a quick knitting whip update as well. So I have been I have been knitting another colourwork jumper, which is the Q badly pronounced name here. I'll put it up on screen and in the description. It's called the Metanis pullover by Zanetti Knits. Other pronunciations are available and may be more correct. And this is where I'm up to. This is the front and back. So I have more or less finished the body. So it's got this very fun. So this is Latvian. The pattern designer is Latvian, I believe. And yeah, she's done this design in like using traditional Latvian motifs. So yeah, I have finished the yoke, finished the body, and I am just, you can see at the bottom, I'm literally just doing the bind off at the bottom. But it's one of those tubular bind offs that you do sewing, and it takes a while. So I was sat here last night watching the football and doing it, and you know, that was obviously a football match is like 90 minutes and I still haven't finished by the end of it. So I'm over halfway. So yeah, I will have bound off the body, and then I'll be coming back to pick up the stitches on the sleeve. So I will continue the colourwork pattern the same as this on the top of the sleeve, I think, or at least there's another chart for doing some kind of colourwork. I don't know whether it's going to be the full pattern that's on here or maybe a reduced version. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, there's definitely a bit more colourwork, and then the sleeves, and then the last thing is going to be finishing off. This is just a provisional cast on, so I'll have to finish off the neckline after it's done. But yeah, I think it looks super cool. Very excited for this to be finished. I still haven't blocked my dinosaur jumper because I don't have the space at the moment. More on that later, but yeah, super pleased with how this is coming along. Alright, the last little bit of sewing content is some fabric shopping. So Namazi had a discount offer. They're obviously trying to have a big clear out of lots of older fabrics and remnants and stuff, so they're having a really good discount. So I wanted to pick up a few things from that, and then also at the same time they added some new fabrics, and one of them was just too me to pass up, so I added that to my basket as well. Literally arrived a couple of hours ago, so it's very fortuitous timing for me to be able to include it. I wasn't necessarily sure if that was going to be the case. The first fabric, there's actually two pieces. It's a Mind the Maker viscose twill. I don't know if I've ever bought a Mind the Maker fabric before. And that's, I think, mainly because of the price, that they are at the pricier end of fabrics. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You know, pricing, you know, you often get what you pay for. So, and I'm not equipped to judge accurately whether that, you know, they've obviously arrived at their costings in some manner. But yeah, they do tend to be on the pricier end. So yeah, bearing in mind that, you know, you probably want a couple of meters, like minimum, like that, you know, it can often be a bit more than I'd be willing to spend a full price, especially not having bought a fabric from them before. But yeah, so I've got 2 pieces of this, and it is this, yeah, this goes 12 fabric, so it's on it's coming up a little bit lighter than it is on the camera. I would say this is a very dark navy blue, and then you've got these kind of red, I think it's meant to be sort of floral. It kind of, the red blends into burgundy in places. So I've got this smaller bit, which is just under 1/2 meter, and then I've got another bit which I think is more or less 1 meter. So that is plenty for me to make some sort of like blouse. I really like this colour. Yeah, it's giving very autumn vibes. So yeah, this will be a blouse of some sort. I wonder if I was talking about, I think last time I recorded about making a long sleeve sagebrush, so I am wondering if I can do that. That would be really nice, I think. But yeah, that is the first remnant. Then the other sale fabric I bought was this cotton poplin. The print's upside down. So it's on a black background, and it's got this like goldy colour print, and it's all sort of like animals and kind of, I feel like it's a little bit like astrological, and you've got like the snake and the like hands there and stuff. It's that kind of, yeah, it's that kind of vibe. I got 3 meters here, and I think I want to make a shirt dress out of it. Really nice autumn winter shirt dress because of the colours in it. So yeah, maybe a Lyra, maybe a Rita named clothing one as well. That'll be a good option. So yeah, 3 meters of that. And then yeah, the fabric that wasn't in the sale was a new fabric added that I just couldn't not get. They'd had this fabric print recently added to like the new stock in a few of the different colours, and I think those, at least one of those, had sold out pretty quickly. And then when this version came up, I was like, this is just me in a fabric, and yeah, just couldn't not get it. So it is a viscose twill, and I've got 3 meters, and it is this. Look at it. Just look at it. It's so good. So yeah, it's got this gorgeous petrol blue teal background, and the animal print is in black, and then you've got some like sort of pale aqua blue, and then these bright blue accents as well. And yeah, it kind of gives the vibe of like, it could be animal print, it could be like more abstract flowers, but I love this. This just feels so me. So yeah, again, I want to make a long dress. Like I say, could be a Lyra, could be the other tiered dress that I'm looking to make, the Jolene dress for Ready to Sew, could be something else. Like if you can think of another, like long shirt style dress, or a long, a maxi length dress. If you've got any other suggestions, please let me know, because I want to make sure that I make the right thing out of this, because I love this so much. But yeah, I'm super happy to have picked that up. It's just so lovely. So that is all, I think, of the sewing and creative content that I have to catch you up on. It's probably been a few more things, but yeah, I don't want this to be a crazy long video either. In terms of other stuff, obviously in a couple of weeks I've done some fabric shopping. I have been tempted by some other things I'm still mulling over, but I'm trying not to push the trigger on any of those just yet, because it's the knitting and stitching show, or I think it's now rebranded to Knit and Stitch, but I'm going to call it the knitting and stitching show because that's just what I do. Like, I'm still out here calling Starburst Opal Fruits, and X, I'm still calling that Twitter, so But yeah, I believe it has rebranded to the Knit and Stitch show, which is at Alexandra Palace in a couple of weeks' time. I've got a ticket for this Sunday. So yeah, I'm trying not to do any more fabric shopping because I would like to, buy it in person if possible. Like I say, I've got my kind of want another needle cord pippy pinafore, and there's a few other bits that, particularly like more heavier weight fabrics, like I would like to make a proper coat. So yeah, I would prefer to buy that in person if I can. So yeah, trying not to do any more fabric shopping until then. But yeah, that is coming up. In terms of what's coming up more imminently, so I'm filming this on my lunch break on Wednesday, as I typically do for Friday shows, but obviously it will be uploaded on a Friday. And this Friday is my birthday, so I am going to see my family. I've got the day off work, and we're going to go to the recently opened V&A Storehouse Museum, because none of us have been. It opened at the end of May, I think. So yeah, we're going to go and check that out and have some lunch, and just have a nice family day out. Hopefully I will not have the additional drama this year for my birthday that I had last year. If you were watching back then, you may remember that I managed to celebrate turning 40 by having a nice day out with my family on my birthday, and then the following day being diagnosed with shingles. So I would really like a less eventful birthday this year, if that's possible, if you're listening, universe. Because that hadn't been on my bingo card. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, fingers crossed, no drama birthday this year, now that we're back onto like normal birthday numbers until the next decade milestone hits. But yeah, so yeah, got my birthday. There's football Sunday, so I will be in the stands again on Sunday this coming weekend. And also then the following week, my mum and I are going to the theatre. We're going to see the Devil Wears Prada musical. So yeah, got that to look forward to as well. And yeah, then it's the knitting and stitching show. So yeah, quite a few fun extracurricular activities coming up, which again is going to impact on my sewing time. So yeah, I think I need to get a bit more organized and maybe think about doing something in the evening. I tend not to like to sew in the evening just because the lighting in here isn't great, and I just find, particularly after I've been working, I'm more likely to make silly mistakes, because my brain is tired. So maybe lunchtimes, I think I just need to get a bit more organized. Also, you can't see right now because of where the camera is pointing, but this room it's looking like chaos right now, and it's going to get worse before it gets better, because on Monday next week I have got my bedroom carpet is being replaced. I did all the painting earlier on in the year, and then it was 30 degrees in here, and I tapped out of making any further progress on the renovations. But now that it's cooled down, I put on my big girl pants and went and bought a carpet, which feels very grown up. I'm still not entirely sure that I'm grown up enough to be buying carpets. I did feel like when I was there that there should have been another more grown up with me. But I did buy a carpet, and it's being fitted on Monday, which means that there is chaos, because whilst fortunately as part of the not inconsiderate sum of money I am paying for said carpet, the fitters will move the furniture for me, which is great, because I am but one 5'3" woman. I cannot move I could move a wardrobe that towers over me by quite some margin. So yeah, they will be moving the furniture, but obviously my part of the bargain is that I have to ensure that all of the furniture is empty. So currently the contents of my bookshelves are like down here. There's all sorts of other bits and bobs here. There's like laundry basket. There's things out of my chest of drawers where I typically keep all of my hand knit items. And yeah, I'm just gradually putting stuff in here. The blind that's going to go up is like in front of my TV. So yeah, I'm sort of like gradually doing it so I don't barricade myself in, or stop myself being able to access things like plug sockets and one thing and another. So yeah, going to be doing some more of that on Saturday, with the sort of proviso that they I don't have a time that they're going to come, but the person who booked it said it would probably be in the afternoon, so I will just get up, and the first thing I will do is just take everything that's on hangers out of the wardrobes and throw it on this sofa until such time as they come and net. So yeah, and I also have to obviously try and leave enough space for them to put the furniture somewhere. So yeah, I don't know when that's going to be yet. So yeah, it's about to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to sew this until that is done, at least. But yeah, it will be nice. It will be nice to have a carpet that isn't ridiculously thin and a gross colour. The ones here were very much picked for let's not show any dirt as opposed to looking aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, it will be good when it's done. It's just the chaos is chaosing, and yeah, I find that my brain gets a little bit frazzled by that. So yeah, it is what it is, but when it is done, I will have a painted bedroom with new carpet, and then all I have to do is get someone in to change my light fitting, and I've got some stuff to put up on the walls and everything. So yeah, it'll almost be fully done, and that'll be nice. It'll feel like an achievement. Okay, I think that is everything that I have to catch you up on. I'm hoping I've had to film this in tiny chunks because my camera is very full, so I had to keep deleting stuff because I've got loads of videos still on here from the Pippi video, and I can't delete them fully until I know that video is complete. So the struggles. But yeah, that's everything I have to catch you up on. I hope I'm not too out of practice. If you enjoyed this Friday Says catch up and would like to see more from me, please do consider giving me a like and subscribing. Subscribing, doesn't cost you anything, but it all helps point the YouTube algorithm in the right direction and helps share my channel with the rest of the sewing community as well. So yeah, I hope everyone has had good sewing time since I last spoke to you all. I would love to hear what you're up to autumn sewing wise. Hopefully you're making a bit more progress than I am. But yeah, I would love to hear that. And if you have any suggestions for the fabrics that I showed you as well, I would love to also hear those in the comments. But thank you so much for watching, and I will be back again very soon with another video. Bye bye.